Okay, listen up. This is a really big, important, ginormous topic. And if it hasn't been brought up, you're thinking it, you have thought it, or your boyfriend or even girlfriend or husband or wife has thought about this. Really big deal. You have a attractive partner, at least in your eyes attractive, but you no longer want to have sex. What's that about? This is a really big, pervasive, nuanced topic that not a lot of people are talking about, and it really needs to be talked about. And I think a lot of people are hurting over this. I do know that a lot of marriages that are in counseling may not need to be if certain factors were in place, which we're going to obviously talk about here. And these topics have to become the norm. They have to become conversational. I mean, kind of like you're at the gym or you're on the golf course or you're in the grocery store line with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. I mean, we got to start talking about these things. And not like we're giving a lecture, because not everybody learns that way or is comfortable sitting down hearing this type of information. But if you're someone that historically has liked sex, you've participated in sex a lot, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you've had to have had a lot of partners, but let's say you're partnered with someone. Doesn't matter if you're a woman, and it doesn't matter if your partner is a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. But that desire has dwindled. And you've tried it all. You've tried herbs, you've tried counseling, you've tried exercise, you've tried therapy and yoga, all that stuff, and nothing works. And there's a really good reason for that, and that's simply put, hormones drive everything. They have such an integral effect not only on our day-to-day thought process in life, but also what happens in the bedroom. And when women hit 35 ish, and you can still have a period and need hormones, that's a little known fact, not only among lay people, but also practitioners, which drives me bananas, but it is what it is. But when women hit, again, 35-ish, they can still have a period, but their hormones are, they're all over the place. They can be up one day, they can be in a couple of days, they can be down, perimenopause. But when you have that sexual desire and that wanes and you can't get it back, that's concerning for a lot of people. Not only the person that it's, or the woman that's happening to, but a lot of the times the partner doesn't understand what's going on, because the woman doesn't understand what's going on, which means they don't really talk about it. It's just a no, I have a headache. Oh, you have a headache again. Yeah, I have a headache. I have a headache. I have a headache. And you dread night coming because the request is going to be there, whether it's verbal, whether it's, a physical touch, and you're just like, don't touch me. That's libido. And libido is not just physical. It's not something that you get erection on, you get wet on. I mean, yes and no, but it starts with a thought process. In a woman, libido is mood. And guess what? Pop quiz. Guess what drives mood? People. It's hormones. It's hormones. And specifically, what I'm talking about are estrogen and testosterone, more specifically, testosterone. And also, a little known fact, women make more testosterone than they do estrogen by a lot, like 4 to 5 times more. So, as you can see, when your sex drive is gone or it is becoming non existent, your testosterone is already been tanked. and it's further tanking. There is zero amount of, and I'm a huge peptide fan and user, injectable peptides, um, yoga, green drinks, therapy, all that other crap, black cohosh and all of that shit that people make money on and sell you on. That doesn't work because it doesn't address the mood, or the real problem, the root problem, which is a hormonal mismatch, hormonal imbalance, hormonal deficiency. The only thing that fixes that is hormones, hormone replacement therapy. If testosterone for women is so bad, why are we born with it? Do you really think the universe is that clueless? Or whatever, God, the universe, whatever. People, God, the universe knows what he, she is doing. You work better when things are balanced. You work better when your blood pressure is balanced. You work better, your heart works better when your sodium and potassium pump works better. Your electrolytes are in balance. Your food intake versus your outtake is balanced. Your mental health is balanced. We balance all of those things. Why wouldn't we balance hormones? Listen, whatever, oh my God, this drives me bananas. Whatever the imbalance, less desire, your mood is off, poor sleep, you have a shorter freaking fuse and you want to bite your partner's head off. It is not a personality change. You are not crazy. You do not need, more likely than not, you do not need an antidepressant or SSRI, which is why those are moderately, at best, helpful when you're perimenopausal or menopausal, but yet they get prescribed 100-1 versus hormones. What the fuck, people? You don't need that. You need your hormones balanced. I don't give a crap how much therapy, sexual therapy, cognitive, behavioral you have. You cannot out communicate low hormones. You can't. You can plan all the friggin' date nights you want. You can whisper sweet nothings. You can buy chocolate. You can leave rose petals and chocolates and 24 roses. If her hormones are flatlined, her libido is gone. Nothing will bring it back except hormone replacement therapy. And listen, that's not an umbrella statement. It is, but it's not. What I mean by that, if you've already got a shitty marriage and you hate each other, but you're still married and you're not having sex, you add testosterone, that ain't going to fix that. You got to get your other shit together before testosterone works. But if you have a loving, affectionate, reciprocal, mutual relationship, and you really like each other's company, you like being around each other. God, am I even recording? Yes, I am. And then you notice over the course of time that things are not what they used to be. That's more than likely the problem. Even though it can seem like it's an overnight change, it's really not. And it's certainly not you don't like your partner anymore, or it's not they don't interest you, and it's not an emotional disinterest. It's a chemical disconnection. This is where hormone optimization, not just replacement, hormone optimization is key. Here's an example. There's so many people that I love and respect in the space. And one of the hormone doctors that I follow in this space, and I listen to her almost every day. And the video that she was a guest actually of a podcast this morning, and she was saying that she never prescribes, not never, strong word, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she leans way more towards cream, testosterone, gel, or troches. And I'm like, Okay, that's fine if you're a newbie. And you've heard me say this before. Whatever provider or dose you start with is not it is not the dose or the provider more than likely that you're going to end with, especially if you're in perimenopause. Because whatever works today is not going to work tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean usually a month, 2 months, 3 months. And you can be in perimenopause, unfortunately, for years. So, guys, you've got to hang with your woman. This is a bitch. It's not only a bitch for her, but it's a bitch for you, or guys or women, if you're with a woman that's all over the place regarding hormones. You really got to be in it for the long haul, and you have to understand it is not that she's not interested. It's not that she doesn't like you. It's not that she doesn't want to be touched, even though she doesn't want to be touched. It is her brain doesn't allow her to want to be touched because there's a chemical disconnection, because the hormones that provide that I want to have sex, that stimulate libido, and there is a place in your brain that becomes stimulated when you're turned on that makes you desire. When that's not working, there's just no interest. And it's not you. And it's not even her. It's a chemical disconnection. And the real fix is hormones. And just because she gets on hormones doesn't mean that's the right dose to stimulate that desire or the libido. Because libido is a mood. It's not just because you get wet, oh, you're going to be horny. Or just because for guys, yeah, because you have an erection. But you get what I'm saying. Again, guys can look at a Betty Boop cartoon and get an erection. Women, they need emotional stimulation. That's a mood. Libido is a mood. So we have to start having this conversation on a regular basis. And when we do, testosterone becomes the norm for, oh my goodness, I don't have a libido. Again, everything else should be good or moderately good in the relationship. Because when women restore their testosterone, their world and yours changes. Families are restored. Her confidence is restored. She starts flirting again. And yeah, she wants you again. And she initiates again. This is not a midlife crisis. It's a biological crash. Remember on the old school Warner Brothers cartoons, when a safe falls out a window, it drops quickly? That's what happens. It drops so quickly that we don't even know what's happening to us. Who are we? We have to stop not talking about this. We have to stop blaming stress or marriage. And again, those things you have to be self-aware enough to know if those things are off, because they will kill mood. No doubt about it, for guys and girls. But you have to know and you have to understand. And sometimes your provider doesn't know this. This is why it's so crucial to have these conversations amongst ourselves, that it is not a midlife crisis. You don't need an SSRI or an antidepressant, more than likely. It's physiology, and you need testosterone, balanced testosterone. What balances me may not balance you. Different delivery system, different dosage. And ladies and guys, women need testosterone just as much as you do. And probably more so when they hit perimenopause and menopause, when test levels start to decline. So before you panic, and stop calling around and the yellow pages or online or asking your girlfriends for the name of a marriage therapist, and you panic because she doesn't love you anymore, or you think she doesn't love you anymore, maybe she needs a little more T and not TLC. And you can thank me later. Thanks for watching.